Welcome to Second Listen Saturday on the Parenting Roundabout podcast, where we share some fun moments from a past episode for your weekend listening pleasure. Look for new episodes every Monday through Friday. Way back in 2016, you could look it up, we talked about what scares us now as adults, and goodness knows there's plenty. But for this episode, we thought we would talk about things that we found scary when we were kids. The future, maybe, if we were smart.
And this, by the way, is a listener suggestion.
Yay!
For the topic.
We have a listener who suggests things. Yay!
Yeah.
Well then, Catherine, what would you say to that listener? What scared you when you were a kid?
I still can remember a recurring nightmare that I had as a little kid.
Yeah.
And I know I was under like 7 because of the house we were living in, you know, when I started having that dream. Anyway, I was told or overheard or something that we had a woodchuck living under the garage.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
And what did you think that was?
I thought it was like a, you know, extremely terrifying beast that was going to basically burst through the floor of the garage
Oh
and
my.
chase me down the hall and
That is terrible.
into my room and onto my bed.
Wow.
That is so. I was definitely afraid of that. I don't remember being afraid of like the dark or you know,
Wow.
monsters or things like that. But for sure, that one particular animal was
Woodchuck does sound kind of scary, doesn't it?
terrifying.
Did you know what a woodchuck was? No, right?
No,
Didn't
no.
know. Okay. Wow.
Although, you know, the closest I've ever been to one was the time where on the same day that Terry's dog in New Jersey killed a groundhog,
Yeah.
which I think is the same thing, right? On the very same day, my dogs cornered one in our yard. And then they just like hissed at each other. And
That
I
was
had to
freaky.
drag my dogs away. But it was the same day.
That was
It
very odd.
So weird.
Are a woodchuck and a groundhog the same thing?
I don't know. I feel like they are, but maybe I'm wrong.
Close enough.
I'm looking it up.
Well, a groundhog hogs the ground while a woodchuck chucks wood, so
But how much?
Oh,
How
yes. The
much
groundhog
is the question.
also known as a woodchuck.
hey, look at
Whoa.
us.
I'm a
Sharing
wood-
important information.
Bring in the knowledge.
Next time you have that clue in a crossword puzzle, thank us. Catherine knows her rodents.
Exactly.
Wow.
Ugh. But that's the only thing I can think of. I feel like I'm sure there was
Fear of
more.
woodchucks.
Funny.
There
Yeah.
must have been more.
I don't know. Yeah, I've been trying to think about what I was. I'm pretty sure I was afraid of the dark. I think I always had a nightlight. But I do remember seeing on TV at some point the movie The Blob and being just terrified of that and just even thinking about that for years and possibly even decades after would, fill me with dread. Something about that. I can't even remember it very specifically anymore other than to know that the thought of it just terrified me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It was going to come get me,
Yeah.
along with the woodchuck. The two together. The woodchuck would block the door, and the blob would envelop me, and I would cease to exist.
Oh,
Wow. There are two that are significant in my childhood,
Yeah.
and they still haunt me to this day.
no.
The first one, I believe, was around, I think I was about 7 years old, and
Yeah.
I saw The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, that is a scary movie.
That was scary, the original one.
I
And
still can't watch that.
The flying monkeys?
I could not get out of my bed. I was afraid they were under my bed, like literally. I could not get out of my bed. I was so terrified. I would have to
Yes.
jump from my bed onto, I don't know, whatever it was.
Nobody
carpet or
ever
something.
talks about how scary that movie is.
Right?
The witch is scary too. They're
appropriate.
all scary. Even the good people characters are scary. It's
Not appropriate for young children.
no.
They are terrifying. Like, how many of our listeners were scared by The Wizard of Oz? Let us know.
Yes.
Because I'm betting that there are quite a few.
I think so. I think it scarred a generation.
It did.
Similarly, the Christmas song, Babes in Toyland,
Yeah.
would scare me because there's that part about you'll never, ever come home again or something. Isn't there? There's a line that's like, once you pass its borders, you can never return again. Never? That sounds really awful.
It sounds like a horror. All these horror movie taglines, it sounds like.
Okay,
Right.
here's the other
Yes.
one that I'm sure scared an entire generation
Yes.
of kids. I saw it when I was probably in grade 3.
Uh-huh.
Jaws.
I never saw that.
I
Now you
cannot.
talked about this on our past episode about fears that we're going to link to, and about how you can't swim in a swimming
I
pool
can't swim in a pool by myself. I can't
by
swim in the
yourself
ocean by
because of
myself.
Jaws.
Because of Jaws. I'm still
Cats.
traumatized to this day by
Yeah.
Jaws. I bet there were more people out there like me.
Yeah.
But maybe not in the pool. They would be scared of the ocean.
Really? Is not anybody afraid to swim in the pool by themselves?
What kind of
Because
pools are
of
you swimming in,
Jaws?
Nicole?
Is
Are
it
there
just me?
woodchucks in them too? And possibly blobs?
Like, I can't get in a pool by myself now as an adult.
Wow.
I'm terrified.
Does
Really?
somebody like go off to the side and go, da-da, da-da, da-da? And then Nicole runs inside.
I'm afraid of coming up from the drain.
Wow.
I don't know where I got that from.
That is a deep-rooted fear.
I don't-
Yeah, I never liked scary movies. I mean, either horror movies at all or just even like Jaws type scary movies. And I went through a little phase in my 20s where I got brave, and I think I watched American Werewolf in London and I watched Poltergeist. And then since then I haven't watched any of those kind of movies. It's like, nope,
Yeah.
nope,
No,
still
me
not me.
neither.
I think the last scary movie I saw was The Blair Witch Project, and that
Nope,
was
nope.
Oh, yeah.
way too much
Nope,
for me.
nope.
Yeah.
I stay away from them.
Yeah, I would
And
not.
Another
wouldn't
thing that I
recommend
was scared of as a kid and had a brief phase of doing and then have not done again is like big upside down roller coasters.
Oh yeah.
I can
Oh, I
take me a
never.
fast train roller coaster, but a big high and loop-de-loop roller coaster, couldn't do them as a kid. Went through a brief phase in high school where I did it because I had a boyfriend who wanted to. And then after that, nope.
Yeah.
I even had a bad experience as a kid with a tilt-a-whirl at the local fair.
Same?
And I screamed so loud they had to stop it and let me off.
Yep.
And
I cannot do rides.
no, that's especially the ones that look like they just unpacked them from a truck this morning and there's a
Yeah.
a guy with a bottle in his pocket turning on the switch.
And no teeth.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, God bless them. I'm glad they have a trade.
Not
That's wonderful. I'm sure it's
stereotyping at all.
perfectly safe. But if I'm going to die, it's not going to be in the parking lot at the Jan's Mall when the tilt-a-wheel car goes flinging into Moore Park Road.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's
Canandaigua
where they
Valley
put
Days
those
Carnival.
I
things.
do. I know. That's why I'm laughing. We used to look forward to it every year. It's a big excitement in our town.
Yeah.
I was
Yes.
terrified of the rides.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can do a Ferris wheel sometimes and sometimes not.
No way.
Little ones.
No Ferris wheel, Nicole.
No.
No.
Don't
It's a
so
height.
is heights a thing for you?
Height thing?
It's the out of control spinning,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The tilt-a-whirl
And
is
the-
very bad for that.
the dipping, and the
Yeah.
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 I think it's the dipping, the up and the down, the spinning, the drops. It's like
Right.
it's this making my. I mean, that's why I don't like flying. It's
Mhm.
Yeah.
that little tiny drop in altitude, and my stomach is just like whoop, up in my throat.
Can you
And
do
it's
the
like,
teacups at Disneyland, or is that even too spinny?
No.
Too spinny. I'm
Way
not
too
good.
spinny.
You can
I got off
control
on
the
my-
spin on that, though. You can make it real slow.
Yeah, but my family doesn't because
Oh.
they try and spin it on purpose to
Well,
make,
bleep
they think
them.
it's funny.
Go in a cup by yourself.
Right.
Find a button.
Next, well, I'll just sit there as it just kind of moves around.
You want to go to the amusement park and you just watch everybody. I'll watch
do.
your things. Go on.
I'm the one that carries the bags.
There you
and
go.
The sweaters and such, and then I stand off to the side. It was a huge ordeal to get me on the what's that one where you go in the inner tube on the raft on the water?
Oh,
Like the log flume one. Yeah.
Not that one because that freaks me out too. It's the big round one, and
oh,
it's like the rapids. You go
Yeah.
through the rapids.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's
They
after
have-
my time, but
They do have one of those at California Adventure
Right.
Yes.
Park. I forget what it's called. Something River Rapids
Yeah.
or something.
So that was a big ordeal to get me on that, which is so weird because I'm okay doing that kind of stuff in real life, but
yeah.
not on a ride.
But control, like, when if you're like kayaking or something, you feel like you have a little more control over where you're going.
I'm in charge.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh yeah, kayaking.
Hmm.
That is my newfound love.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I can't do it down here in Southern California because I live in the desert. Yeah, that's
Like-
a whole other story.
Yeah. So when we're talking about scary things from our childhood, are we talking about like fear of embarrassment and humiliation in front of peers? Because
Why
that was
not?
a constant companion.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that never went away.
Yeah, you had the dream of showing up at school without pants or something.
Mm-hmm.
it was that dream of trying to get somewhere and you couldn't.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the one. And I still have
still have
one
that
for
too.
sure.
Yeah.
It is a well-worn path through our neurons, I think.
Yeah, that was a freaky one.
Yeah. Yes.
But
Never dies.
yeah, what else? As a kid, I'm just trying to think. Oh, I mean, there was always that house, that you never wanted to walk past.
Hmm.
Or the one with the scary old people in it, or
Aw. overgrown weeds in the front.
yeah, there was always that house in
Yeah, I'm
town.
pretty sure we went trick-or-treating to that house and ran screaming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's all those little stories around town that you'd hear and be like, oh
Right.
my gosh.
I was afraid of
Freak yourself
PE.
out.
That was pretty terrifying.
Oh,
Oh,
that was not
terrified
my
me.
favorites.
Once again, how many of our listeners were terrified and traumatized by
Yes.
PE?
Yes. I think that was a common thing. To go
Yeah,
across the
dodgeball.
bars, the ladder bars once in junior high, and
Or
I did
just
it
having
once.
to do like the arm hang.
Yes.
That's what they had girls do instead of pull ups.
Yes.
You had to just hang there. Flexed arm hang. Where you had to be like halfway in a pull up and you were just supposed to hang there and they'd time you how long you could do it
Oh,
for.
Lord.
Do they still have the President's Physical Fitness ribbons? Do they still give those out? Or was that just a thing when I was in school?
I think they still do
Okay.
some version of it.
Yeah.
If I remember from my family fitness site days.
Because no way at all was I ever getting one of those.
Oh gosh, no.
I don't remember my kids getting them, but up until my daughter was in high school, they still weighed the kids. in
Whoa.
PE.
That is not kind.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if they still do it to this day or they stop. I mean, I would think that they have stopped.
That's a
it by
fairly
now,
terrifying
but-
thing. It's a
that
current
awful?
childhood fear.
Yeah.
To get weighed in your PE class, like
Yeah.
that's pretty
Because
traumatic.
it's terrible to be too much and it's terrible to be not enough. And
Right.
then the ones who are just right are going to lord it over everybody. That's awful.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That is
Yeah.
just as terrifying as a horror movie or a scary Halloween
It's a
costume.
good screaming sound effect we could
Are
have
you
played after each
transitioning?
of these. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. I mean, when I answer the door on Halloween,
Yeah.
I still don't like to see the, like, you know, super bloody, gory things.
No.
You know, like, just bring me your princesses and mermaids and superheroes. Like,
Yes.
I don't need, especially when they're like 8 years old
Right.
and they have this super skin. Like, it's one thing if it's a teenager.
Yeah.
Which I think we've talked about here. Like,
Right.
it's fine if a teenager trick-or-treats. That's fine. Bring them on. But, like, I can get a little nervous if they look like a serial killer, even if it is Halloween.
Awful.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
I
see.
don't know. Scorpions terrify me. Oh, that's an adult thing, isn't
Yes. I would be terrified of that.
That's a current thing, not a childish thing, right?
I would have been scared of
Did
it as a
not
child.
have scorpions in
it? I did not have them as a
In-
child, no.
or Ontario.
No. No, I can't say as we did.
Just like maybe in California. I don't know. Did they have woodchucks, Terry?
I don't remember woodchucks.
I think we've established that they have them in New Jersey and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, where I was living when they scared me.
Yeah. Down the street from my childhood home was at the time when I was a kid, it looked like a large hill, but really it's not. It's just a kind of a mediocre little hill at the end of our subdivision. It was called Tarantula Hill, and there was much discussion amongst the kids as to whether there were really tarantulas on it. We were at various times very certain that it was. In fact, I think somebody just thought it kind of looked like a tarantula, and that's how I got that name. But there was the
Really?
constant undercurrent of a tarantula from Tarantula Hill could be in your bed at any time. Ah! You know, some kid got bit by a tarantula. Did you hear? Some kid.
Some kid.
Some kid.
The mythical.
I heard some kid got bit by a tarantula. They were on Tarantula Hill.
Right.
And they got bit. I don't believe I ever saw a tarantula, other than at a zoo or a museum. But
Right.
We were wondering that the other day about Halloween candy. Was that ever a real thing?
like razor blades and apples and stuff.
You know, we were always terrified of that.
Yeah. I think it was,
Right?
but it might have been another one of those some kid. I heard some kid.
That's what I'm thinking. You know, that kid in America. It was always the kid in America.
As long as you don't trick or
Kid
treat
in the
in
States.
America, children, you will be fine.
Right. You'll be fine.
Oh, some kid in California.
Yeah.
Some kid in
Yeah.
New York. It was always.
Yeah, we heard
Some
about that
kid.
stuff. I don't know that I was ever afraid of my candy, but that may have been because my parents pulled out anything that looked. I don't remember it being a thing. But yeah, you definitely heard those things. But you know, it was like a razor blade and an apple. Who eats an apple they get when they've gone trick or treating?
Right.
You put the apple in the family fruit bowl, and you go for the Snickers bars and the candy corn.
Not Snickers bars.
Not Snickers bars?
No.
You don't like Snickers bars?
No.
How is that possible,
My
Nicole?
goodness.
Wait a minute. We have to have a whole episode about this now.